Good morning, team. We are so excited to have special guest Michelle Thomas, Diamond Michelle Thomas, with us this morning on our Monday motivational call. She's drinking her pink, and yay, cheers. So I am just thrilled to have you on our call this morning, Michelle, because I got the honor of meeting you for the first time at the Arizona grand opening of corporate, the new building, and Michelle was standing in the product store getting her stuff, her products and her bling, and I was right behind her, so we struck up a conversation, and she just really inspired me and motivated me to keep going, and she gave me some great tips, even just about how she and her husband, if you don't know, her husband Timothy is Emerald, and they have a Rock the Pink Zoom call every Monday night, right, Michelle? Every Monday night?
It's on YouTube.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
YouTube Live, yes. And so she was telling me that's how she really pushed through a certain level to get to the next level, was when they started doing those Zooms. And so that inspired Amber and I to start these Monday motivational calls. So I'm thrilled to death to have you on the call, and I just can't wait to hear your story and just some great tips that you have for us. So without further ado, I'll let you start by sharing a little bit of your journey with us.
Okay, well, I have to just preface, and whoever was on the call before the recording started, I have to preface that I'm probably like more emotional than normal. Like I'm actually not a crier. Like before Plexus, I didn't cry all the time, but Plexus has caused me to be a crybaby. And I think whenever you start seeing people's lives changed and people's dreams come true and people believing for huge goals, it is inspiring and it's life-changing, and it's hard not to just be completely moved. And so right now I have a lot of people trying to rank advance, and so this week is super intense. I'm excited to be, I'm just excited to be a part of Plexus right now. Like that's really how I feel. And Rebecca, I'm like super excited to be on the call today and just to share a little bit about, I guess I'll start out just to sharing a little bit of my journey. I know my Diamond documentary is out there, but the reality is that I got into Plexus because my sister said she wanted to join it, but she was going to join my friend, and I told her she wasn't going to join my friend without me joining. And so that's basically how I got into this business, because I had told my friend over and over again that I was never going to do Plexus. I could never imagine doing network marketing. I just wasn't that personality. And I'm really, my personality is the type that when I go into a room, I would rather just sit and people watch. I'd rather sit, and I'm very content to just look and watch and smile and talk one-on-one. I'm really content with that. But I didn't even post on social media before Plexus. I only had a couple hundred friends before Plexus, like on social media. I didn't have a huge following. I don't think I would have been someone that you would have considered super influential. I was just like, if you probably would describe me, I would just be like, I was just consistent. I would have been a hard worker, but like I wouldn't have been a network marketer, so to speak. So anyways, I got involved because my sister wanted to do the products and she wanted to do the business. And my sister was the one that had the dream. She was the one that wanted that financial freedom. And she was the one that had a big why. But I didn't have any clue. I mean, basically I had a reason to need Plexus, but I didn't understand that God was just putting this in my path for such like a huge reason. And so anyways, I joined Plexus, and I just kind of put a plan together for myself. I knew I was not like my upline. My upline, Sonia Dudley, and Sonia Dudley, Helen McFadden, they were like besties, which Sonia and I were really, really close friends too. But I knew Sonia and Helen, they were just, they believed from the minute they joined that they were going to the top of the company. There was no doubt in their mind. They didn't have to go through all the mental processes that I was going to have to go through. And so like I right away almost just kind of knew that I would have to take it a little slower, and that I was going to have to figure a few things out. And so I came up with my own game plan of how I was going to work my Plexus business, and I just consistently did it. I consistently worked my business. And what I did not know was going to happen was that Plexus was literally going to change my family's health. Like, my Plexus literally gave us our mom back. And it like, I can say that with words and people are like, you know, it sounds crazy, but she really was in and out of the hospital 6 to 8 months out of the year for 9 years. And she had been going to holistic doctors after holistic doctors, and she was on a super strict diet. She almost had died, and basically what happened was her immune system was just completely shot. And so she was even making her own kefir, like making all of her own probiotics, like really strong stuff, and she just was not getting better. And then she had this, was in a car accident, and she wasn't able to sit. She had all this pain or discomfort. And so anyways, she starts on the Plexus products, and 3 weeks after starting on the Plexus products, she was discomfort free. And she also has not been in the hospital for 3 years since I've been in Plexus. And she, not only that, but could not hold a job because of all of her sickness. And she's now almost emerald. And so, like, the emotions right now for myself, Plexus came like at a time in my family's life that was a complete godsend. And as soon as I started seeing what these products were doing for me, my personal life, my family, my total mentality about network marketing or about sharing with people became completely turned upside down. Like, I no longer had the concerns that I did before, because I knew that these products were products that people absolutely were desperate for. And so anyways, about 6 months into it, 6 to 8 months into it, I had replaced my husband's income. 1 year, it took me about 11 and a half months to go emerald. And then now 2.5 years into it, I went diamond, and my husband is emerald now, pushing for sapphire. So that in a nutshell is a little bit about like my personal journey as far as like the timeline goes. And then Rebecca, like, I don't know kind of what direction you want me to take. I could go in a million. I wrote down a couple of things just to let you know. I wrote down, whenever I'm asked to get on a team call, sometimes I just, you know, I have like a certain amount of things that I kind of just always share, like I'm a broken record about. But then I just always kind of like to be inspired by maybe what I feel like this team might need. So I don't know. And I just wrote down some stuff. So you can kind of direct me on what you want me to share.
Okay. Well, I do have a few questions we did come up with for you. And one of them is, like, we've watched your Diamond documentary, a lot of us have. And one of the questions one of our girls asked was, you know, in your Diamond documentary, you said that, you know, you were emerald at Hawaii, and you had that aha moment. I think it was in the shower where you were like, I never saw myself as an emerald. Yeah. Or not as an emerald. I never saw myself as a diamond. And so one of our girls was wondering about, well, what just happened to our speaker view? Hold on. Don't know what happened to it. Let's see if I can fix it. I don't know. Anyway, one of our girls was asking about, you know, how you got to that point where you could finally see yourself as a diamond, or what was your turning point in that?
Well, for me, you know, I don't know if any of you were around when we had, I joined in 2012, and we had that original accelerator. And I had you know, when I went to Emerald, like, I had this huge thriving team of like a lot of young girls, and I believe a lot of my big momentum was, you know, really weight loss based and really about the accelerator, even though I was all about the health, and we had a lot of experience with the health. And that's why I'm still here right now, because I knew Plexus was a game changer. And so, you know, like, I went to Emerald. Not like a year is not as fast as some people go, but that was pretty fast, you know, like it was a whirlwind for someone like me that didn't have much belief. So, you know, I went Emerald in a year, and then like, I just got faced with a big amount of challenges, because right when I went Emerald, they changed the accelerator formula, but we didn't know the impact that it was going to have on our team. And then my husband decided to go full-time Plexus. and he had quit his job. And then we had decided to move our family back up to Ohio because our business was thriving, so like we were doing really, really well. And then things came to like a screeching halt because we were still gaining, but we were losing more than we were gaining. And so after I hit Emerald, it was like we were just fighting to keep rank. And my husband had lost rank. He was senior Ruby, and then he got down to like 600 points. And so, we had made a lot of changes, done a lot of things to keep ourselves, like our team thought, we were still thriving. I mean, like we believe, and, you keep pushing forward no matter what. And, we were like pushing forward. And so, but I hit Emerald in November of 2013. And so 2014 was my first year in Hawaii. And so I went there as an Emerald. So I had been an Emerald almost a whole year before I went to Hawaii for the first time. And that whole year was like one of our biggest, that was like the biggest struggle of our lives. Like for one, my husband and I figuring out how to work this business together full time, going backwards because of that company change and that product change where we had to really refocus our whole team on health, the triplex, talking about gut health and not just the accelerator, not just quick weight loss. And so there was a whole like mentality change. And so I think for myself, like I had gotten in just like I was just, I was in a place where I was just trying to keep it all together. And I wasn't dreaming. Like I wasn't like bringing my team up. It was almost like I was just trying to like hold on to everything. And, sometimes it's like, that thing like where God says that you have to sometimes just like let everything go to gain what you really want, and just believe and trust the process, and not to be so desperately trying to hold on to something. And so I go to Hawaii, Maui for the first time, and I'm just walking around and I'm just talking to these other jewels and just listening to their stories, and, seeing people that were like business owners and that they had, they believed Plexus was the opportunity of a lifetime, and just such such unashamed belief in Plexus. And I just felt like I was groveling, like in my position. I felt like I didn't have the full belief in what this company was and the full belief in what this compensation plan was. Like I was an Emerald, so that's great. That was a good place to be, but that wasn't, it's like if you're not growing, you're going backwards, and I wanted to grow, and I wanted to be thriving. And so just during that trip to Maui, just talking to people and realizing like that I just felt like I wasn't, it's almost like I would like lift your eyes up to the hills, like I was like looking down. I was always looking down at my team, and it wasn't like, I wasn't lifting myself up and like looking at the possibilities and looking at all of these diamonds. And I saw myself as less. Like I realized I was walking around to these, with these other jewels, and it's like I saw myself as like I didn't belong almost. And I don't know, I feel like that, like through this whole process, I feel like that God's used this for so many things for myself. I feel like I'm a more confident person in every walk of life because of Plexus. And so during that process, during that trip, I was in the shower, which is hilarious. Like, I don't know why I even said that, because it's like I was in the shower washing myself, but I was in the shower, and so I just said that. And I just realized, like, I'd never saw myself achieving diamond. And, like, it just broke me. And I just realized that belief, and we talk about it all the time, belief has to come before the success. I mean, faith happens, like we have to have faith in what we cannot see. And so like we have to have belief in what we don't have yet. And I wasn't even believing for diamond. I was just trying to hold on to emerald. Wow. And so it was like, I came out of the shower like a changed person. Like, I'm a diamond ambassador. Like, I believed from that moment on, like, I'm going to the top of this company. And, like, things changed. Like, it was like just my mentality changed, the way I led changed, the way I did opportunity meetings changed, the way I lived my life every day, the way I was talking to new prospects, the way I was, just everything in my business changed from that point.
That's so awesome. It's almost like you really literally did draw that line in the sand in Hawaii.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're like, okay, I'm going to do this. I can.
Yeah.
Well, that's so great. Let's see. I think we've kind of answered a lot of that, just about how you got to Diamond and your hardest promotion. What would you say was your hardest promotion then?
My personal hardest was Sapphire. Like, just that process. Like, it was 15 months from Emerald to Sapphire.
Okay, yeah.
And we had several months of going backwards. I never lost rank, but, you know, and I can't complain too much. Like, if you're going to be stuck anywhere, being stuck at Emerald's like a good place to be stuck at. So it's not like woe is me, but, you know, no matter what level you are in Plexus, I mean, no matter what, you know, like, okay, so like this is what's so crazy about this business is like, I'm Diamond and I'm like, okay, I'll hit 6,000 points this month. Like, I could re-enter, you know, and then I want to go silver and then I want to go gold. You know what I mean? Like it's, you always want to achieve what you can if you can go higher, you know, like, so it's always pushing you. It's always challenging you no matter what you're doing. And so my mentality change through Emerald to Sapphire was probably the biggest shift. I also, at that point, when I came back from Maui, I started completely focusing on raising up leaders. I started completely focusing on my leaders. We started doing personal development groups. And it was, I mean, it's hard to even talk about the change that's happening. And that's why I'm so emotional right now, because like the people that are going Emerald are people that have been with me for like years, you know what I mean? And they're not people that hit Emerald quick. They're people that have worked through stuff and like fought through stuff and figured things out. And like, they're the real stories here, you know, like we love Celeste Gwynn because it tells us like that's possible. You know, we love all these stories where it's quick because it tells us that's possible. But the more normal stuff and the stuff that's actually practical are the ones that have to fight and figure it out and believe and dream and go through valleys and struggle and like have the breakthrough moments and don't give up and have those stories of like, I didn't give up and I achieved this level of success. That's actually the normal.
Yeah.
And that's like what is so awesome.
Yeah, I think that's true that, you know, you can't assume just because you got from one level to the next fast that the next level is going to be just as fast, you know, and you have to really enjoy and embrace the journey, like you said, and how God's teaching you things and how you're growing through the process. That's great. Well, a couple of other questions our team had, and then I'll let you share whatever tidbits that you want to. What was just starting out, you know, when you were first starting out, or just the whole journey, like, you know, you have 3 kids, and a lot of us that are on this Zoom call today are stay-at-home moms with multiple kids, and it's busy, and we're just wondering how you juggled that or how you balanced your life with being a mom.
Is that my door? Is that your doorbell?
I don't think so.
Like, my husband just put in his new doorbell, and it sounds like it's here. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry.
Sure. This is real life, you know. The doorbell rings, the dog barks.
It was my doorbell, but it's just a delivery for my son. He orders clothes. So it's all good.
Plexus was delivering you flowers or something.
Fun. Okay, so sorry. Say that again.
So just, I think we're all kind of wondering, like, just what your tips are as far as juggling the kids and balancing your home and with running your business. And I mean, I know for myself, like, I just went Emerald, and I'm kind of like, you know, you would think maybe you could take a breather sort of, but you really can't because now it's busier. And I'm just envisioning like, oh my gosh, if and when someday I'm Diamond, like, how do I juggle this with the family? Because it's been very all-consuming, you know?
I mean, I think that there's times where there's no balance. I mean, like when we were trying to hit like super big ranks, you know, like we were just at dinner yesterday with my sister who's going Emerald this month, you know, and she told her family, they're all sitting there and she's like, I just want you to know there'll be no dinners on the table. I will not be cleaning this week. Like, you know, and it was like, this whole big family affair, but they all know they're going to Hawaii this summer or in September, and they're going to Alexa. So I think that there's times of no balance, and then you reel it back in. And because like what Tim and I say is that we're willing to put in the time and effort now for like the legacy and for like financial freedom and to set our family up for success. So I think that, but we also, you know, like pretty much every day from like 4 o'clock until 8 o'clock, I'm not really like working my business. And another thing that I'm really big about, and my husband is like even more psycho about it, like, and we do not work on Sundays, and we take one full day off of social media. And I feel like that's vitally important for not only your family, but also for your mental state. I feel like that it gives you time. A lot of time on Sundays when I take that break, I'm fresh on Monday. Like I have inspiration. My thoughts are clear. Like I've given myself that day to do something creative, to do something that I love to do, spend time with my family. And I feel like it makes me a better leader, you know, throughout the week. So that's two things. I mean, really the afternoons, just being there for them. And then, before the back office change, I probably was a little bit more balanced. You know, obviously the challenges that we've been through the past 6 months, having leaders that weren't going to stop no matter what, you know, you're having to put in that much more time to overcome challenges. And so the challenges have just been a little bit of a speed bump, but it's not that so it's just caused a little bit more work. So I would say that I was a little bit more balanced prior to this, but I think I'm going to get back to that. I mean, I'm blessed right now because, you know, like my kids, I went through periods of time where I've homeschooled, and then we moved back to like a small town. So they ended up going to public school right now. And so during the day, you know, I have these hours where I can work or play. And then when they get home, you know, I've been accomplished during the day. So my biggest thing I preach though about balance is that I really do think that you can work this business part-time. I think that you can, and what people struggle with working this business part-time is that they're not intentional enough. And back whenever I worked 40 to 50 hours a week, I was like a part of this website that kind of changed my mentality on housework and chaos and clutter in my house. And it was, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Fly Lady.
Oh, yeah.
So Fly Lady's whole mentality is like 15 minutes a day keeps the clutter away. And so I would get home from work and have these kids, and like I would set a timer for 15 minutes and we would all clean the house for 15 minutes. And it was the consistent effort of 15 minutes that my house was always clean. And so when I got into my business, I was homeschooling. So not only was I, you know, like staying at home, but I also had the kids with me all the time. And so I lived and breathed by my timer. So I would tell my kids, okay, guys, I am 20 minutes. I'm going to set a time for 20 minutes and I'm going to just prospect for 20 minutes. So I was like, you'd be shocked by how much you could do in 20 minutes. The problem is that people think they have all these things to do, and then they get on Facebook and then they waste an hour on Facebook and then they've done nothing. And then they feel like they have no time. So like for myself, I have like a 2-hour-a-day work day, my work day, and it's just a checklist and it's all timed. So if I say I'm going to do, like I do 5 minutes of goal setting and just looking over my goals, and, you know, like I have all these things, and I literally will set a timer 5 minutes and just look at my numbers and look at my, you know, kind of reevaluate things. And for the day, 5 minutes, I spent 5 minutes, and that's it. When I'm done with that, I move on to the next thing. So that's also a way to help with balance, because I feel like people are just time wasters.
Wow, that's really good. I took notes on all of that because you've got great ideas for that.
Can you elaborate on what your, like the 2-hour work day looks like for you? Like besides the goal setting, what else does this include?
Okay, like I'll just pull it up. And I can send this over to you just to give you an idea.
Okay.
I don't actually have it. I don't think I have it on my phone. I have it on my computer. Okay. So, you know, basically like I'll spend 15 minutes prospecting, go for no. I always say 15 minutes going for no. And like I'll spend 15 minutes following up with 3-day trials, following up with customers, anyone I need to follow up with. And sometimes it doesn't even take 15 minutes. If you're doing these things daily, I mean, you don't even need 15 minutes. That's what's crazy about it. 15 minutes reading any kind of a personal development book. And the time might be off, but these are just some of the things that I do every day. So some kind of a personal development book, and then I like to try to read an article on health. So I'll put like some kind of health article just to kind of keep me, because I wasn't like a crunchy mama. So, like I need to like read on stuff like this just to help me keep me current. I spend like so many minutes trying to do a post or something inspirational on my team page. So kind of keeping that going. I'll set a timer and spend so many minutes planning for upcoming events, posting on team pages, like as far as on, upcoming events, or if I don't have any events scheduled, if I have that 15 minutes that I'm allotting, then I'm reaching out to people trying to get an event set up. And then I'm sure I'm missing something, but on my 2-hour work day, I also at the bottom is that I try to do everything on my work day before I get on social media. And, the reality is that I believe that social media is a tool, but it's not like the end all be all. And, you have to have all those other things like good before you're able to even use Plexus or use Facebook as a tool, because you can be posting all day, but if you don't know how to follow up, call your people, inspire them, teach and train your team, all that kind of stuff, it's not really going to matter. So I can send that over to you just to kind of give you an idea. And I will tell you, it's just doing something like that every day, having a daily method of operation is why groups like IPA chats and stuff like that work so well. Because IPA chats, it's not that it's like rocket science. It's not that it is like this big new thing. It's just consistent behavior. And it's doing the things that are actually going to push your business forward, and not just spinning your wheels. Like so many people are just spinning their wheels and they're not moving forward because they don't really know what to do.
So with those IPA chats, is that like where you get into a group chat about what you're doing specifically? Is that what you mean by an IPA chat?
We have, and like I know you'll be going to an Emerald training soon, so they'll probably talk about this stuff too. But I had learned this about a year ago from Kristen Abart. She was doing this, and so for me, what I do is I have like it's a 30-day IPA challenge, and I get like whoever my first few levels are like they want to do it. And I put them in a group, and they have to reach out to 2 people a day and post on social media. And then they have to check into the group every day and say done. And so it's just an accountability group. It's not a training group. It's just an accountability group. And if they don't check in for 2 days, they get removed from the group.
Oh, okay.
And it's really just IPA. Like it's not supposed to be meant for like friendly talk or anything. It's just strictly IPA stuff, right? Just
strictly like that you did it. Because that's the basic gist. People just struggle. And you know what is crazy is people will say they want it in Plexus. They want to go to the top of the company. They want to go rank, but they can't do a 30-day IPA chat. So, okay, like it gives you something as a leader to talk to. Like, okay, if you can't, reaching out to 2 people a day and posting on social media at the max 15 minutes.
Yeah.
If you can't do 15 minutes a day, you aren't going to get to the next level. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's a very, it gives you, I think it gives you something to even speak to, like with people that want it, just to kind of show them where they are. I mean, you can work the business part-time, but you can't work it some of the time. I mean, really it's just consistent, like my husband and I preach all the time, like the slight edge mentality. That stuff like that's like the slight edge to success.
Kind of to follow that question up, somebody had a question like if they feel like their warm market is cold now, like they don't feel like their family or friends are involved. They want to know what you suggest to your team as far as reaching out to new people. How do you get new people what do you suggest?
Well, like I've been in the cold market ever since I've been in Plexus. I mean, when I started Plexus, I lived in Florida. We had just moved there. I didn't know a soul. And then we moved back to where my family was in Saline, Ohio, which I hadn't lived here for 15 years. And so I didn't know anybody here besides like some cousins and stuff. And so I feel like I've been in a cold market since I've been going. I mean, my second level 1 emerald was someone I met at a vendor event.
Oh, wow.
You know, so like, I feel like for me, when I was in like Florida, for example, I would do vendor events is a good way to just get yourself out there. And really the people that, like, I just had a lady, she signed up 3 vendors this weekend. And it's not the people, like, people always get caught up, well, there's not people come through. You're not at a vendor event looking for people, you're looking at the other vendors. Because those other vendors really have the drive and the desire, but they're just, I mean, I think they're looking for the right company, right products. And Plexus, a lot of times opening up their eye, and that's exactly what happened to me with Sylvia Michaud. She's the first emerald in Maine. And she was with a natural skincare company, but she loved health. And she just was looking for the right company. I talked to her. She joined me within a week, and she went to the top of the company. And so, like, that's just vendor events are huge for me. I don't do as many of them now because Ohio doesn't have as many, like where I'm at, and I usually let my team go and do them around here. Also, like, depending on where you live, but going to networking meetings, that was huge for me, just getting out there and doing a networking event where you're just building relationships with people. You know, like if you're a stay-at-home mom or if you're in homeschooling, just step out of the box and go join some like homeschooling groups, or go look for things that are going on that's free where you're going to meet other moms. You know, like right when we moved to Salina, we joined a group that was starting up this F45, this team like workout thing. And it's like, the thing is that when you're working in a cold market, it's sometimes a slower process because, you know, you're building relationships with people. But if you get, like, I love what Eric Worre said, like, just become a more interesting you. Like, become a little bit more interesting. Like, if you want it, you can figure this out. There's a million places you can volunteer. If you have kids, volunteer every concession stand. I've recruited probably 4 people I've worked in concession stands with.
Wow.
So everywhere you go, it's not like I'm a genuine person. I genuinely care to talk to these people, but you can't help but to share what you're passionate about. Mm-hmm. And you know everybody needs these products. So I think just become a more interesting person yourself. Look for ways to go and meet people. And there's all kinds of things that people can do that I think a lot of times they get stuck because they've never maybe lived like that. You know, maybe they kind of just stay to themselves. But I don't think that, I don't believe people when they say their warm market's tapped out. Like, that they just aren't thinking beyond, like, they really need to dig into like that Frank's. I mean, really start thinking about it and really recreating the list, because my warm market's not even tapped out. I've been doing it for 3 years. Because you're always should be developing new relationships.
Yeah, absolutely. Find a new gym, find a new sport that you did, right? I mean,
yeah. Go get something waxed.
Yeah. Yeah, that too. New hair girl, new nail girl.
Yeah.
One last question I had too is that some of our team was asking, is about just duplication. Like, how do you motivate? Like, I know even on our team, you know, like we have some that, you know, they have 2 ambassadors and they're just not getting that 3rd one, or, you know, how do you inspire your team to really duplicate and really catch your vision on getting more, you know, growing their own team? How do you motivate them to do that?
Well, I think a couple different ways. There's a lot of ways I could I think creating a team culture is huge. Like, if your culture is in growth, whatever you create as the culture is what people will duplicate. And so if you're focusing on the power of 3 always, then people are going to feel like they're behind if they don't have 3 people, or they're not silver yet. They should be silver. So like and more things are caught than taught. So like if you're working and casting the vision, like I always think, you know, like people like Celeste Gwynn, or when I joined Sonia Dudley, like she was moving so fast that I wasn't trained by her. Like, I mean, the way I was trained by her is that I was looking like I was trying to keep up. Like I'm just needing like, oh my gosh, she's like she was just always like a step ahead because her belief was that big, you know, and she instilled a lot of belief in me, which was like the biggest thing that she did for me, was that she told me that I could do it. Like she told me that this was attainable for me. Like she said, you will be in the top of the company, when I would look at her like she was crazy. There's no way I was going to be in the top of the company, but she told me I was going to be in the top of the company. So I don't think that, I think people just really like want to be cheered on, you know, want to be told that they could do this. They want to be a part of something fun. And that team culture that's created is like huge. And then I also think that a lot of people also want to be told what to do. Now, this doesn't work for everybody, but like a lot of people join Plexus and they just like their upline kind of just like lets them join, and then they don't want to step on any toes. They don't want to push them. But when like being around, and I'm going back to Celeste because I've had some experiences with her lately. And so I've had some personal experience like with her sharing some things. And when people join a successful team, they're like expecting to be successful, you know, like, so they need to be told how to be successful. Okay. And so I think like success breeds success. So you have to see yourself as being able to, like, I'm going to be like, you have to tell them, like, I can help you get to where you want to go. I need to show you like what you need to do. But then, you know, you also need to coach them and talk them through it and have them come up with their own plan. So there's like two things, you know, like they need to be told like a direction, but they also need to be coached into creating their own plan. Right. So that they have the buy-in. You know, we do like our personal thing. We do a lot of launch parties. We do a lot of we do new ambassador trainings every week. We focus on the power of 3. We always have like a contest going on to recruit 3 ambassadors every month. You're in a drawing for something like substantial. So, you know, we always have like the power of 3 contest going. So people always know like that's kind of the expectation. And so, yeah, I don't know.
What do you guys do for that contest? Like, what are some of the incentives?
Oh, we've done cash, gift cards, we've done TVs, iPads, and you know, like that's me, you know, at this point, but like as I was like going up to Emerald, like I would give every person free t-shirts when they went to Silver. Like, you know, so it was like I always had an incentive for Silver. Like it's always been the power 3, power 3, power 3. So like at whatever level you are, it could be just, you know, get to Silver, you get a free gift. Get to Silver, you get a free gift. Add 3 ambassadors, you get a free gift if you're like just getting going. And that free gift can be like, you know, a $5 Starbucks card and a little coffee mug that you got at Marshall's for $2. You know, like it doesn't have to be like expensive, but people, anything that you're doing to help create excitement, fun, being part of the party, you know, being able to like shout people's name out and highlight someone's name, that will go beyond any amount of money you can spend on somebody. It's just the gesture. It's just the fun. I mean, people go to work every day and they do the grind. You know, like if Plexus isn't fun, if it's not fun on your team page, if it's not like you're part of something big, then people don't want to be a part of it if it's hard.
Right.
I think.
I agree.
This is all my opinion.
That's been great. No, we really, really appreciate it. Does anyone else have any other questions?
I have another question for your personal development groups that you said that you do with your runners. What are some of the best ones you've done? Like, I don't know if it's books or what are the best ones you've done?
Well, I've done some different ones where we've like done some challenges where like they had to create dream boards, and like I would give them different like homework assignments. But right now I love just doing John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. That will change anyone. Like that, like changed me, that book. Also Millionaire by Halftime is amazing. So that's like something, and, you know, just doing a weekly Zoom, just giving people challenges. The IP, like, and this is something that, Rebecca, you'll go through kind of whenever you go to training, but like right now I do like a 30-day IPA chat, and then anyone that makes it through those 30 days, I put them into a 30-day challenge. And every day I just give them a challenge, you know, like it can be, you know, I want you to try to get 50 new Facebook friends today. So you might have to look through acquaintances. You might have to like look at friends of friends or talk to people. I mean, it's like a challenge to do these things. So I'll do a 30-day challenge. And then after that 30-day challenge, whoever makes it through that goes into like a book coaching, like a 6-week coaching. And we do like a book study, like Millionaire by Halftime, or we'll do 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. So it's kind of like a 3-step process. And then the hopes is that they take that and then they start duplicating that with their team. Because any amount of, if you can keep people engaged, you know, that you can help keep them like moving forward.
Good. Yeah, I did the 21 Irrefutable Laws with Christine, and I tried to do it with our team at Christmas time, and it was a big fail because everybody was so busy, you know. Yeah. So we need to commit to do that one. That would be a good one.
I think, you know, I learned something from Melissa Eichenhorst on this. You know, I think when people say like it's a fail or it didn't go well, is that maybe they had the wrong people in it. Maybe they didn't set the right expectations, proper expectations on it. Maybe like there's several, the timing.
Part of it was me, really. Like I was just as bad at, oh, okay, let's do it next week, you know, because it was a busy season, Christmas. But you're right. No, I think we need to, that's a good one to do because the personal growth is really important and really huge.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for all your time, and we've learned so much from you. You've really inspired me, and I know the others on this call and our team. So thank you so much.
You are welcome. I'll send over my 2-hour, and like I said, I have one on my other device that I'm like modified it. So the idea is just to be intentional. It's not like this is all you can do every day. You can make whatever you feel like you need to do every day. But the idea is like setting a timer, being intentional, and your business will move forward when you do that. Because you're going to actually accomplish a lot more and touch a lot more areas and avenues of your business. So I'll send that over to you so you can share that as well.
Okay, that sounds great. Yeah, it's kind of like that whole work smarter, not necessarily harder, just work smarter, right?
That's right. Yeah.
All right.
All right. You guys have a good day.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.